It's my pleasure to welcome Iryna Volnytska into the Cipher Brief studio. She is the president of SET University in Ukraine, and it's a fascinating story, Iryna, because the university was created just after Russia's full-scale invasion, or just before?
Actually, we founded the university just 2 weeks before the invasion.
2 weeks before. It's pretty stunning. And talk to me a little bit about why you started the university and the role of technology that you see in Ukraine's future.
Yeah, the idea of university was how to teach to transform technology into business, because Ukraine, like everyone knows that we have a lot of brilliant engineers in Ukraine, but unfortunately we do not create any added value in Ukraine, because what we do, we just resell our engineers to the projects outside of Ukraine. And we decided that we need to change it because we want this added value to stay in Ukraine. But unfortunately, because of our Soviet legacy, Ukraine was a part of USSR and entrepreneurship was forbidden there. Like, it was illegal, and culturally and mentally, we still think about entrepreneurship as something bad. So we decided to teach engineers how they create startups, how they can create products, so the added value stays in Ukraine. And when the full-scale invasion started, we saw that now it is even more important than it was before. Because as we see now, the technology, it's actually the only industry that even grew during the first year, and now it is the only industry that have at least stays on the same level.
Mm-hmm. I would definitely understand exactly what you're talking about. Just understanding too, since Russia's full-scale invasion 3 years ago now, it's hard to believe that much time has gone by. But Ukraine has certainly focused almost everything on technology and the development of the technology to fight this war more effectively, when it was really suffering from a lack of enough troops initially. Talk to me a little bit about how transforming that Soviet legacy and Ukraine as kind of a front line of free enterprise, how are you thinking about the future and the future development of training more entrepreneurs and supporting more entrepreneurs in Ukraine?
When your only chance to survive is to innovate, it actually motivates people a lot, because it's not only a physical war, it is a war of technology. And of course, it's for us, technology, especially the defense tech, it's like our only option to survive. That's why I saw like a lot of initiatives that actually also was brought from US, like to help to educate entrepreneurs, to teach, because again, when we talk about startup ecosystem in Ukraine, 90% of venture capital came from US, and it's always been like this. So venture money, it's usually US money. But the problem is that we also register our companies in Delaware, so the added value stays not in Ukraine, it stays in US. But still, it brought a lot of experience to us. Again, because it's very hard to teach entrepreneurship. You need to live it, you need to practice it, and this cooperation with US companies and especially with US venture funds, they brought a lot of experience. And what I saw that our partners, they also see Ukraine as a very interesting sandbox to test their products, to test their innovations in Ukraine, especially in defense tech, and the same for cybersecurity, because the experience is unmatched. For us, it means experience. But now we need to think further and to think how to monetize this experience. That is actually what we are trying to do now through different acceleration programs, boot camps, and of course partnerships. For us, like the best idea to have joint startups, to have joint companies with US, again, because it is because of the experience. We can bring this engineering experience, and you bring the entrepreneurial experience.
Recognizing excellence in national security. The Cipher Brief Honors Dinner celebrates those who've made a real difference in protecting our nation. It's an unforgettable evening with top leaders in the field. Join us in honoring these remarkable contributions. Reserve your seat now at cipherbriefhonors.com.
And I do want to talk about cybersecurity with you for just a minute, though, because even before Russia's full-scale invasion in February of 2022, Ukraine had this reputation, really in U.S. cybersecurity circles, of being the most attacked country when it came to cybersecurity attacks. And it was almost the place where people said Russia will try something in Ukraine to see how effective it might be before they may introduce it in other countries when it comes to cyber attacks. Tell me a little bit about what Ukraine has learned on the cybersecurity front in the last 3 years.
Yeah, the problem with Ukrainian reputation, it's actually very interesting because before the full-scale invasion, a lot of people, I would say like majority of businesses, they thought like Ukraine, it's like the same as Russia, and that we do like their hacker attacks all together. But when the full invasion started, now like the world realized that actually we are like very different in terms of everything, and Ukraine like is the only country who what is cybersecurity and how hackers operate. Like it's not about technology, it is more about mindset. And in Ukraine, we understand Russian, we understand the culture, we can understand how they think, and we can understand how they plan. And this is, for now, it's our advantage to fight the Russian hackers. And we believe that with this, I wouldn't say this, I wouldn't call it expertise for now, but for now it's experience again. And what we try to do to turn it into expertise. But again, because we don't have this entrepreneurial culture, we don't know how to sell, we don't know how to do marketing, and we don't know how to create products. And regarding cybersecurity, Ukraine, before the full-scale invasion, we didn't have this reputation as cybersecurity country, because like to work with someone on cybersecurity, like you need to have like a really good reputation, because it's like, I don't know, like to show your underwear if you want to cooperate on cybersecurity, and we need to gain this trust. And I believe that is something that we are doing right now. And for the world, it means that Ukraine can be this front line of cybersecurity and for protection like the world from Russian hackers, again, because Ukraine is the only country that has this experience that we need to monetize in future.
And you think it's likely that based on this experience that you talked about, it's possible for Ukraine to become almost the hub of cybersecurity expertise in the future? Is that realistic?
Yeah, it's realistic. It depends, again, on partnerships. It depends on education. You know, I work for the university, and like no one wants to talk about education. And this is the problem, because education, it's like a base for everything. And, you know, like we're a nonprofit university, and for us, it's like, for example, it's like a huge problem, for example, to raise money, because there are a lot of other challenges in Ukraine, and people think that education is not important now. But what have Ukraine now with education? Like, it's terrible. Like 40% of children under the age of 15 is out of Ukraine. So we don't have like children is our future. Like the education, if you check the educational system, it's very outdated, and like we don't have like any budgets dedicated to development of the education. And this is also a big challenge if we want to think about Ukraine in long term, and Ukrainian tech and cybersecurity and everything else.
Yeah. You've given us some great things to think about, Iryna, when it comes to sort of reforming and thinking differently about the development of Ukraine's education system in the future, really focusing on these core strengths that so many in the country have developed when it comes to technology and cybersecurity. Iryna Volnytska is the president of SET University in Kyiv. Thank you so much for joining us from Ukraine today. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.